Hello guys. So before we get started today, I wanted to show you guys something. So let's switch to my monitor. Basically, it's this section of my book's website. Something that I really didn't mention in these streams is Nim in action. I'd just like to show you this guide that I've written on the Nim programming language website that you can read just by clicking this link. So it's on book.pheta.me right here. You might not be able to see it, but I shall write it in a bigger window. Okay, so this is the address, and I'll be posting these videos here as well. So I posted the previous video, which I uploaded to Twitch. Another thing I should mention is that I am streaming at 720p this time. At least I hope I am, and I'm recording at 1080p. So you might hear my MacBook fan whirring along as I'm going through this. In any case, the plan for today is WebDriver. So let me explain why. If we go back to my, let me just close some things here. If we go back to my, I'll make this slightly bigger. So from my first stream, which I unfortunately was not able to record, in my first stream we created a stock notifier application, and you can see it running here, and you can see that Amazon sometimes replies with a nice 503 service unavailable message. Now I don't entirely know why that is, but presumably they are just limiting my requests because they're noticing that I'm just a bot that's checking it every 2 minutes. It's not too big of a deal because it only happens rarely, but I'd love to have a way to possibly get rid of this and hopefully fix it. And the way I think I will do this is by using WebDriver and actually loading the Amazon website in an instance of Chrome or Firefox and then grabbing the source code. The reason I think this is going to work is because when I make a request, if I show you the requests here real quick, let's try this. So see, this is the actual request. And even if I do it in a private session, there's a cookie that's somehow sent here. And I probably shouldn't show you too much of my cookie because this is me logged into my account here. But if I go and go into private mode, into private session, come on. no. Why are you so annoying, Firefox? Somehow it's still sending a cookie, even though this is a private session. I don't know, maybe from the initial load, somehow it saves it. I don't know, it's weird. But in any case, it would still be interesting to write a package that that uses the WebDriver protocol to drive Firefox and Chrome, or just Chrome if it's easier. So hopefully we'll look into how to do that here. Does feel a little bit as if my MacBook cannot handle streaming at 720p and recording at 1080p at the same time, unfortunately, because the fan is spinning a lot. But let's continue anyway. So I found this nice, let's increase the size so you guys can hopefully read it. Found this really nice Nimble thread where I've actually posted a message on. Somebody asking how to communicate with a browser using WebDriver, and this guy here actually providing some awesome code on how to do it. So I think if we can just grab this and see if it works, that would be a good way to give it a try. In all honesty, it's a bit distracting having my CPU so high. I might have to turn this down a little bit, unfortunately, because this just kills my performance. Which means I'm gonna have to stop streaming for a second. Oh no. Okay, I'll just stream and record it at 720p maybe. Maybe that will be better. Let me just check yeah, OBS is using like 200 CPU. Not good. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so hopefully we're back, and hopefully now my CPU will get a little bit of a break, because it was way too warm. I even got warm a bit from the heat of my CPU. Anyway, I can still see it spiking quite high. Maybe even 720p is a bit too ambitious for my Mac, which would be a darn shame, I must say. Anyway, sorry about this troubleshooting session. I think we'll be fine now. Okay. So let's see. He's talking about documentation. He's talking about downloading this. So let's try it. Let's try downloading it. And by the way, I'll also be uploading these videos to YouTube. just for the sake of having some more presence for them on YouTube, so that, because obviously when people search for videos, they search for them on YouTube. You can't really search. Can you even search on Twitch for uploaded videos? Probably not as easily as on YouTube. Anyway, so what is this? Let's try it. Mac. That's what we want. I should use my mouse more instead of my touchpad all the time. Ooh, boo, boo, boo. Glad I don't have anything. Oh no, it's like all the way down there. Let me just grab it. Chrome driver. I'll just create a new directory quickly here in my other screen. Let's call it WebDriver for our project, and there we go. So let's see what this bad boy can do. Let us go into WebDriver and let's run it. Wow, that was easy. It's just a case of running it. I thought it would expect some options by default, but it seems it just runs. It's pretty cool though. So only local connections are allowed. Port 9515. Seems good. Seems good to me. Base URL path prefix with commands. Example wd/URL. Yeah, I might have to edit the resulting video here because I don't like the way we started. But this is a live stream, so some hiccups. Oh, Andreas is here, yay. No, more people are here. 4 people are watching, so there's a couple of people at least. WebDriver is... so Andreas is asking what is a WebDriver. WebDriver is a protocol for telling a browser what it should do. So you can tell it navigate to this URL, and then you can ask it for the source HTML of the DOM. So here's the spec, and the list of endpoints is probably the most interesting. So this is what I'll be implementing here. And I think what would be good is to show you guys how to create a package out of this. So I'll be implementing this protocol, but I'll also be sort of explaining how to create packages in Nimble and how to get them into the packages list at the end. Hopefully it won't take us too long to implement like a very basic package. And I'll also talk about the package layout, which will be enforced soon, but which Nimble gives warnings about currently. I'll show some examples of that. And then hopefully at the end we can integrate this into my stock notifier. And hopefully that will fix my issues with it. Just to recap, since I kind of messed up the stream a little bit. So a quick recap. From my first stream where I created a stock notifier, it is working, sort of. It's running here. You can see that occasionally it complains that it could not check Amazon because of this error. And I have no idea why Amazon does this. It only happens sometimes. You can see it's actually happening in a row multiple times here, which is pretty bad, but it doesn't happen here. So the stock checker works. It's not perfect, but hopefully with the WebDriver, with a package that allows me to drive a headless web browser, these will disappear. We can't be sure, but hopefully. We'll see. It gives me a good excuse to play around with WebDriver anyway. And yeah, Andreas is saying crawler prevention. Well, if I use a real browser, then hopefully that will fix the issues, right? So that's my idea. And yeah, this does mean that I still have not gotten myself a Super Nintendo Entertainment System Classic Edition. They just don't seem to be getting into stock at all for some stupid reason. Which is a shame. So yeah, that's basically it. I see there's a couple more people now. So yeah, essentially we'll be implementing the WebDriver protocol. I'll be making a Nimble package out of it. Andreas is now saying that not necessarily, so it might not necessarily fix this issue. Well, I don't mind if it doesn't fix this issue. It's still a good sort of exercise to show while live streaming, right? And it should be relatively easy, I hope, as well, because there's some sample code on the NIM forum. Andreas is now saying, the good crawler prevention mechanisms don't care about browsers versus non-browsers. That's true. I'm just hoping that Amazon does something like, I don't know, when it loads the page, it executes some JavaScript, and that JavaScript sets a cookie, and then that cookie is checked. Oh, would you look at that? Apparently Amazon has stock now. Let's see. I just got a notification from it. Let's see. Nope. This is a false positive. So this is another problem, really, with this. It gives some false positives, unfortunately. Which is annoying, but now Andreas is saying that they can sue me for an attempted denial of service attack. I mean, sure they can, but why would they? They shouldn't just sue me outright. They should say, can you please stop that first, I think. Surely they would give me a warning before just freaking suing me, right? Anyway, this is annoying because, like, it says in stock, but the price is, like, elevated past the recommended retail price, which is like £70, right? Which sucks. So what I've been doing was I've been adding these really silly hacks and just checking if the price, like, this isn't sophisticated at all, but I did it like really quickly just to see. And it does work. I just didn't have time. And I think maybe as part of this live stream I'll also clean up this crappy code. It's not even committed yet. You can see by the blue. And yeah, I attempted to set cookies here as well. It didn't help at all. So, I don't know. How frequently do I submit HTTP requests? Every 2 minutes. So I don't think that constitutes a denial of service attack. If they can't handle a request every 2 minutes, then come on. It's a bit ridiculous. Anyway, so that's the plan. If you think it's a stupid plan, please let me know so I can do something else. I don't want to bore you guys. But yeah, the Chrome driver seems to run. It's pretty cool. So let's try and... So first of all, let's just do it step by step, right? So hopefully you guys can see this. We're in my WebDriver project. Okay, Andreas says I should do something else. What should I do then? Fix a Nim bug. That's too hard. It would just be me thinking silently for minutes at a time, which is not fun for anybody to watch, I don't think. And kind of frustrating. Yeah, Andreas should stream him fixing nim bugs. Like, that would be useful for everyone that wants to work on the nim compiler. Any other ideas? Anyone else? You can, but... So, let me just read out the question. You can join. Andreas is asking if you can join and do pair twitching. You can, but we would have to talk on Skype, and that would add some CPU overhead, which I can probably show you guys. And Amazon again is... I need to add this as well, so that it stops bugging me that it's in stock when it's actually not. Because that's just annoying. In fact, I already have one that I forgot to add here. I know, this is lame, but... Why? Not in content. What am I doing? Okay. That should work. Yep. Just a quick fix. It failed. Oh well. Anyway. Yeah, so we could do like a shared stream where we talk together, and that would be nice, I think. Where I maybe just share my screen and we talk. But again, I'm like at the beginning of the stream, I don't know if you all saw, I attempted to stream at 720p and record at 1080p, and that just brought my MacBook to a halt and it started spinning the fan way too much. So if I ran Skype now and was in a call with Andreas, I think that would just push it over the edge as well, because Skype isn't very efficient in my opinion. If you wanna... Okay, this is really boring because nobody can see probably the conversation, so I'm just gonna move this here. And you guys are gonna get a nice... No, that's not what I wanted to do. You guys are gonna get a nice inception, streamception. Can I like just show the chat? Yeah, I know I can. I know I can add Twitch chat in OBS. I'll probably do that eventually. In fact, it would be kind of fun to create a piece of software that does that in Nim. Lots of cool ideas. Anyway, do you guys have any other ideas of what I should develop, or should I just go on with this? I'm just gonna send this. Not, I'm continuing on with this. Oh, my live counter just disappeared. That's weird. I'm not working on the compiler. Right, I'm just gonna continue with this because how do I move this into my... There we go. Okay, so Jester. You want me to work on Jester? Yeah, I was thinking about that as well. The problem is that working on Jester is a bit of a pain, in my opinion. I haven't worked on it in so long that it's just really difficult to get back into, and I'm just putting it off all the time. But I will work on it eventually. Eventually. Don't know how long that will take, but I just need to refresh Twitch because I want to see how much viewers there is. 7. Okay, that's pretty good. I think I might also actually invest in a good microphone, because obviously my MacBook's microphone isn't the best. Anyway, let's get going. Oh, man, refreshing the page loses all of my chat. That's so lame. Anyway. So Konkoro, if that's how you pronounce your name, is asking because of macros. It's not really because of that. It's more just I don't know. It just feels like a bit of a mess right now. Like I would need to spend, I think, some time refactoring code in Jester, which isn't fun. So I just don't want to do it, essentially. But I was thinking of doing that on the stream as well. I also don't really think it's much fun to be working on something like Jester. That's already quite large, and I think it might be a bit difficult to understand for people on a live stream. It's much nicer to start from scratch and kind of show the progression, I think. So anyway, and thank you, Andreas. I'm glad that the sound quality is excellent. Okay, so let's get going. So we've got our project directory in my home /project /WebDriver, and in order to kind of start, okay, Andreas is still giving me ideas. Yes, I'll implement hotcode reloading for Jester. I'll also implement parallelism and pink unicorns and all those things. Let's move on, because this stream is going to turn into us talking for far too long. I don't know, maybe you guys find that interesting, but I wouldn't be surprised if people don't, so let's keep going. Okay, so in order to create a new Nimble package, you just call Nimble init. I'll probably end up improving this so that it implicitly just creates a Nimble file based on the directory structure, so it doesn't ask you questions. I think it would just be a bit better. So this might change, but for now it asks you some questions. So obviously package name, WebDriver based on the directory name, initial version. I like to start with 0.1.0. You can start with 1.0 if you want, if you're optimistic like that, but I'll start with 0.1.0. My name, yep, that's my name. Package description. How should we describe this package? Implementation of the WebDriver. What is it? A W3 spec? I think it is, isn't it? Let's just close this crap. Yeah, it's a W3C spec. Edition of the WebDriver W3C spec. License. Yeah, MIT, why not? Lowest supported Nim version. I think we can say 0.17.2. I'm glad you guys agree that working on old projects is boring. Yeah, it is. I'm really curious what this error is. It started popping up for Nimble, and I think it's just the fact that Nimble was compiled with an older version of the compiler sources, but it's a bit concerning. But anyway, that's just a little quirk in Nimble that should probably be fixed, actually. I might actually do some live streams of me working on Nimble, since I am a bit more into that code base than I am Jester's code base. It's a bit more fresh in my mind, so it would be a bit easier to get into. But again, it's a large code base. Oh, cool! Somebody new, somebody who doesn't know what Nim is. DuoViz89 is asking what language this is. This is Nim, and the only similarity with Bash is the echo keyword. Everything else is different. So it's sort of a mix of Python and Pascal, I would say. The creator of the language is in the chat, so he might offer a better description, which I will read out if he gives it. So, but yeah, thank you for joining us, DuoViz89. Nice to see you here. Hopefully you'll stick around, and hopefully I can encourage you to use Nim as well. Another thing to know about Nim is that unlike Bash, it compiles to C, and then the C gets compiled to a binary. And you get a nice dependency-free binary at the end. So anyway, let's continue on. I've created my my Nimble file, and if we look at it with vim webdriver.nimble, we can see that it's got the version, it's got the author, which is me, description, the license, and the dependencies, which are currently simply just the Nim version. And when you install this package, Nimble will verify that you have this Nim version. And if you don't, it'll give you an error. The name of the package is implicit. It's just taken from the file name, so whatever the file name is, that's the package name. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Nim, a Nimble file is sort of similar to, I don't know, Rust Cargo, or God, what other more popular examples are there? NPMs, I think they use JSON for this, like for this package metadata. Anyway, it's the package metadata, right? Just contains some metadata about the package. Okay, so we've got these files. This isn't going to be part of our package. I just put this here in here so we can easily run it for our testing. It's the Chrome WebDriver binary, which I downloaded earlier. So let's start creating some directories for this. Let's just open VS Code, forget about this. Let me open this directory. WebDriver, open, save that please. Come on, Visual Studio Code, thank you. So we've got our WebDriver.nimble, and let's create some directories. So first of all, I like to create a src directory for my source. That's sort of the recommendation by Nimble as well, to have this directory structure. And we will have a nice webdriver.nim module, and we can start writing code, and that's really it. If you install this package, I can just do this now already. Nimble install in the directory. Boom. It's complaining. Why is it complaining? Oh no. And this is actually a very good warning, because I forgot to add a... Now the hint would be, could be nicer. The issue is that I didn't add an option to the Nimble file, which is source dir equals, maybe I should just write it in here instead of saying it. Source dir equals source. Because by default, Nimble doesn't pick any directories. It just installs everything that's in the top level directory of the package. Sorry guys, I'm reading the chat because people are talking in Russian, it seems. Okay, they're just laughing in Greek and or Russian. That's fine. Yeah, so this will fix it. So it is a good idea to install a package to verify it. And I've already installed it, but we can override it. And it's still complaining. Why is it still complaining? I bet I know why. If I install it again, it doesn't complain anymore. It's complaining because the old package had an incorrect structure, which is incredibly misleading. So I am going to add this as an issue already, because that's pretty bad. Let's just create a nice issue in the Nimble. Ooh, what is this? Label issues, and let me zoom in for you guys so you can see better. Label issues and pull requests for new contributors. Nice. That's nice. I won't dismiss it. Maybe I'll add them later. So warnings. Okay, when replacing a package, a warning is given for the older version. See my stream recorded on Friday 13th. Oh god, today's Friday the 13th. That's pretty unlucky. Anyway. Yeah, that should give me enough context. Bug, messages, and submit new issue. No, I don't want that. Why not fix it immediately? Well, okay, Andreas thinks that it would be more interesting than what I'm doing right now. That hurts, bro. That really hurts. But you know, if you want to create a more interesting live stream, please go ahead. You know, you could be live streaming right now, take away all of my viewers, and then I would feel very sad. But I would know that I'm not doing a good job, you know? So there's that. But I will continue with what I'm doing. If I context switch too much, it's just going to be confusing. Plus, the title of this stream is already playing with WebDriver. I don't want to get sidetracked with bug fixes in a package manager that, to be fair, is actually quite a large piece of software. In fact, I don't think I could fix this easily. I think it would take me quite a lot of time of thinking about it and trying to make sure that my solution is correct. And I couldn't do that on the stream. So, sorry. Those are my reasons for not doing it. Hopefully they're good enough for you. So, let's continue, right? And I think I also need to add just like a Nimble check command. And I think that would be actually a very good live stream to do. So maybe mental note for myself. One of you can remind me. Make a live stream of me implementing the check command in Nimble. Anyway, let's continue. Let me just clear this screen. So our package is now perfect. If I install it like this, there's no warnings, no nothing, except from this, but this is another bug that I'm gonna need to fix. It's a bit of a pain, but anyway. Hello, Carpet Sausage. That's a brilliant nickname. Are you familiar with Nim at all? If not, I can explain it again. I already explained it to somebody else. Yeah, I'm curious what Andreas is. So you're Danico, if that's how you pronounce your name again, is saying that he would love to see Andreas's workspace. Okay, Carpet Sausage is not familiar with Nim. So yeah, I mean, yeah, look through the website. I don't want to waste people's time who already know what nim is, and also the people that watched me say it earlier on. So if you have any questions though, please ask, and I will be happy to answer them. And there's a lot of people that develop nim in this chat anyway, so they'll be able to answer your questions as well. Okay. So this is, see Andreas, this is actually a very good way to promote nim as well. Because I am streaming into the programming community, I'm guessing that's how people like Carpet Sausage have found this stream. I did not create a language, but the creator is in this chat. He's called Arak4K. His real name is Andreas, so I just refer to him as Andreas most of the time, because saying Iraq is a bit, I don't know. It's too close to Iraq, or Iraq. Yeah, I think that's how I pronounce it. Wow, 15 people watching. Thank you for joining us, new people. I am coding a WebDriver package for Nim, and I've just started actually, so let's continue on before I stand still for too long. So we've got our Nimble file. That's perfect. It passes all validation. Everything's good. So let's start on our WebDriver. Okay. So what do we actually want to do here? I think a good first goal is to get it to load a page and return the source code of the page. So return the HTML of the page. Ah, cool. So Carpet Sausage is saying that he or she saw the title WebDriver and thought they'd take a look. So yeah, so I figured I would implement it. Actually, funnily enough, people in the Nim forum were saying that they were gonna. So Moigagu was saying that they were gonna implement one. Maybe it's in their local file system software somewhere, a package which implements WebDriver, but unfortunately I searched for it and I didn't find it, so I'm implementing it myself. And here's some nice sample code created by Watt as well, which we can use as a nice starting point. But I think I will probably change it because it uses the old httpclient style of calling things, so definitely will change it. Maybe I should just read the spec actually. Anyway, so he's using endpoint/status. Yeah, let's try that first. Let's look at the list of endpoints in the protocol. Where's the list of endpoints? List of endpoints, right? Status. Wow, this is interesting. Wow, you can file issues by selecting things in the W3C spec. That's cool. We should get that for our Nim documentation. Okay. So the status command returns information. Oh, sorry guys, I'm gonna zoom in so you can see better. The status command returns information about whether a remote end is in a state in which it can create new sessions and can additionally include arbitrary meta information that is specific to the implementation. The readiness state is represented by the ready property of the body, which is false if an attempt to create a session at the current time would fail. However, the value true does not guarantee blah, 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 blah. So let body be a new JSON object with following properties. So it returns a JSON object essentially. Okay, let's try it. Let's just do it. Right, so we import httpclient because that's what we'll need. Let's just create a nice new sort of structure for this WebDriver. So we'll create a type called web. Can't spell today apparently. WebDriver. and this will be a reference object, and it will have a client, which will be the HTTP client, and that's it for now, really. So let's create a new web driver, export it. The asterisks, for those of you that don't know, export things. Those of you new to Nim, although I'm guessing those of you that are new to Nim are going to be really confused. I'm not going to spend this whole time explaining everything, because a lot of people watching this are probably... Well, actually, no. I mean, on this live stream, there's a lot of people that already know Nim, but I will be uploading this to Twitch, so I think I will explain it a bit more. So hopefully this is self-explanatory anyway. I'm creating a type called WebDriver here. The asterisks means that it will be exported, so anything that imports this module, the WebDriver module, will be able to use this type. A reference object is a object that will be stored on the heap as opposed to the stack. If I don't have a ref, then it's just stored on the stack. The reason I'm using a ref here is for more flexibility, if you will, essentially. Most of the time you want a ref, unless it's like a simple object that you will be returning from another function, I would say. But most of the time you want a ref for these types of situations. So, WebDriver, new WebDriver. What we could do, I guess, is store the address. So, yeah, or let's call it URL. My throat is already getting sore from talking so much. So this function called new WebDriver will take the URL and it will create a new WebDriver. So WebDriver URL client is going to be a new HTTP client. So you can see the convention here. When you're creating a constructor for a type, you name it new and then the name of the type. So in this case, we're creating a new HTTP client type, and the constructor is just called new HTTP client. Now this convention only holds for reference objects. If you have a non-reference object, then you're going to be using init WebDriver, but we're not doing that. Yeah, so first things first, we're going to create a nice connect. Now, how are we going to do that? Because this is like an HTTP type thing, so there isn't really much point in doing that. Checking the readiness, like, I don't really know how the readiness can change. I think we can just create like a request procedure. What are our endpoints here? So we've got back, forward, refresh, get title, get current URL. Okay, so I see how this works. So you create a new session, and then the session has a session ID, and then for each session you can sort of do things. So, okay, that's cool. So what we really want is a create session function, and we're probably going to need a type, and in this case I would say this should be an object. Presumably it's going to have an ID, presumably that's going to be an int. Concora wants me to use results.url. The reason I just used return is to not confuse people. but since you mention it, we can use it. So nim defines an implicit actually, in this case, I see what you want me to do, but I don't think it's correct. You want me to be doing like new result.url equals URL, and then result.client equals, new HTTP client. I don't think this is the right way to do this. The only time you should be using result is when you're, for example, constructing a string, like, because strings in Nim are mutable, then you have like a function that returns a string, something like this. And then you can do result is empty string, result.add, blah, and so on. Then it's useful. But in this case, I think using the type constructor, so this is actually a special construct in Nim. It's a type constructor where you can specify each of the fields and it creates a new type for you, is better. So anyway, let's continue on. And Andreas is saying I shouldn't have return in here either. That's true. I can make this shorter by just using an implicit return. Again, as I was saying, I wanted to make this as clear as possible to newcomers to the language who might be watching this video. So I will just use return. Actually, fine. I'll just do an implicit return in this case, because it's a simple procedure. So we're creating a session, and I want to query the readiness first, just as a test to make sure that this thing works. So all we have to do is get status, and then we should get something. So let's just try it and see what happens. So one thing I forgot here is an instance of the WebDriver. So let's just do like a Python style type thing. Use self and WebDriver. And then we can do WebDriver.client.get. And then we need to use self.url, and this is a bit annoying. I need to construct a URL, which is a bit of a pain because, right, let's just grab our documentation here. Let's look up the URI module. Let's parse a URI, and then we can combine a URI with a string and construct a URI like this. Awesome. So let's import it, import URI. And as a matter of fact, we may as well parse URI, isn't it? Yeah, parse URI. See, it's complaining that the types are different, so we need to make sure that types match. So Yordanico is saying I can use this self pragma. Yeah, I can, but I don't like that, to be honest. Maybe once it becomes a bit more established in the language. Just using pragmas, in most cases, I find ugly. But anyway, getting sidetracked. Let's continue on. So yeah, so then we can just do self.uri and use the slash operator. You see here it's defined. Sorry, I should zoom in again so you guys can see a bit better. Please let me know if you can't see something, because I'm not sure how well the stream quality is. But yeah, you can see here there is a nice slash operator that you can use to construct URLs. I really love this in Nim. So in this case, it's going to be slash status. And why is it complaining? Oh, because this is called URL, not URI. Oh well. And this is complaining that it got a that it got an HTTP client and it got a URI, but it expected an HTTP client and a string, right? So what we need to do is we need to do this. We need to convert it into a string. And in Nim, the dollar operator is basically like toString anything. And now it's complaining that it got a response, but it expected session. So this is an implicit return here that's happening. The get function returns, see, it returns a response, but our create session expects a session, right? So let's just put that in a variable, an immutable variable. That's what the let does. And hopefully I'm not boring the Nim veterans too much with my explanations. And we should get a nice response. So let's see what we get, right? Echo response. And now let's write quickly this main module let WebDriver equals new WebDriver. And we probably want localhost. And what's the port that it runs on? 9515. And let's give it a protocol as well. Boom. Like this. And you know what? I think we can, we can probably make this a default variable as well, since most of the time it's going to be running on this anyway. Why is this complaining? Oh, this is complaining because there is no toString operator for the response. So let's just use trusty rep, which is similar to Python's rep. Yeah, let's do it. WebDriver.create session. And it is of type session, has to be discarded. Yeah. So our create session procedure returns a session object. It doesn't currently, just returns like an empty session object, but the compiler still complains that I'm not doing anything with the value, so we have to explicitly discard it. This is one of the unique features of Nim, which I really like personally. Anyway, so let's compile it and see if it works. Hopefully it'll work. So nim c -r, c means compile, -r means run. So it'll compile and then run the executable automatically. So source webdriver.nim, enter, and let's see what happens. Oh dear. Does this not use the HTTP protocol? If it doesn't, then this is going to be much tougher than I thought. Am I wrong here? No, it should. I mean, yeah, what? Do I need to give it this this header? What do I do? Content type. Is this like an explanation of what is this? Okay. Processing model. The remote end is an HTTP server reading requests from the client. The process of the specification, we modeled that transmission between a particular end and remote end of a connection to which the remote end may write bytes and read bytes. However, the exact details of how this connection works and how to establish that have scope. Such connection must be a request constructed. Let's just try this. See, now I'm gonna have to do result equals, and then result dot client dot headers. I think content type. So we're setting it to this. I hope that this fixes the problem. If not, then yeah, I got nothing. This is possibly actually a bug in the standard library, which is a bit embarrassing. Just check if this is fine. Yep. Gosh, my throat is getting really sore from this, from talking so much. Invalid integer 9515 status. Okay, well, what we should do now is basically curl this thing. So it's 151. Wait a second, what? Oh, I think I see what's going on. That's really weird. Is it creating an incorrect URL? What? Let's just see here. That is exactly what it's doing. What the hell? This is a pretty bad bug. Pretty embarrassing with that as well. So what the hell? Yeah, this should be fine. WTF. I'm sure we can fix this by doing this though. Yep, that works. Shall I go into this and try to fix this bug in the standard library? I guess it might be worth it. On the other hand, this might actually be expected behavior by by the RFC that is implemented here. Let's just do it. Or at least investigate it for a little while. So nim. Open that. And let's open URI. URI.nim. Okay, and let's look up the slash procedure and see what it actually does and whether it does it wrong. Does it have any tests? It does. It has a lot of tests. That's good. So in this case it's using slash baz. Here it's using slash foo bar ist. For which search? For the project search or I just for the file search I just press Command P. Yeah, just Command P for the standard library search. Okay. Do we have any tests that test for this? Doesn't look like it, sadly. Which is really strange. So you think that the issue I just ran into is in the bug, Andreas? Like I guess the thing to do here is to check what happens in Python. So let's just do it. What is the URI? No? Can't even remember. Just look it up. Python URI parse. URL lib.parse. For Python 3 though. Fine, I'll run Python 3. No, not Python 4. That's in the future. So import URL lib.parse. Let's just look at this stuff here. Does it have like a join? URL join? Yes, it does. Yeah, let's just do what this does. And yeah, this works fine. Now let's grab our case. So we've got this, and then we've got status, don't we? And then it was status. Yeah, this works. So I'm fairly sure this is a bug in the nimstandard library. Yeah. So you're saying that the RFC states this, but are you sure about that? Because Python doesn't abide by it. So this is unfortunately the thing. I could fix it, but this could potentially have some backstory to it that I might need to investigate. So I might need to search for like URI join. I don't even know what to search for in issues. Nope. This is an interesting issue though. Reported by me. Oh yeah, this is tough to reproduce one. Maybe search for this. Oh, 43 issues, nice. Yeah, I don't know. But okay, let's let's try to fix it really quickly. So the way you would fix this, this is something a bit more advanced, is you basically add a nice test in here. Bug found on stream 13.10.17. And you create a new block, a new scope for this. And yeah, you just do something like this, parse URI, status, and then you just do assert dot, just do assert foo equals, yeah. And then if we run this, so let's create another tab. Let's go to my nim directory. Let's just pull because there's probably going to be lots of changes that I'm going to need anyway. Yep, nice. So what should we do? Yes, nim cr, and this is in lib pure uri.nim, and let's run it. And this will run and see it fails. So the test I just added, it's failing. And you can see this by looking at the line number and also at this, right? It shows you the code that fails. So let's now fix it. Now that we have a test case that fails, we'll know that it works when it passes, right? So let's fix it. So what does this code do? If the path is nothing, then it returns... I bet this is where the problem is. Because the path is 0. I think this is the issue here. This code. In fact, I'm fairly certain it is. So, I mean, what we can do is if path 0 equals slash, just as we do here, really, then, or actually, if it's, how should we write this? If it's not equal to slash, then result of the path equals slash, and then we just add it on, right? Because that's the other parameter, path. And there we go. Let me just check what's going on in the chat. Yeah, these things still happen, unfortunately. Oh, a link from Concoro. Let's see. Unify the URI and parse your modules into single. I think this is an old one, maybe. Oh. What? So in this, sorry guys, maybe I should put this on the main screen. I don't know. So I'm looking at what this person is saying here. So, I mean, this all has trailing slashes, so I don't know. Let's look at the RFC. Beautiful RFC. Yeah, I don't even, I mean, I'm just gonna fix this because this is totally and it works, see? So it doesn't fail anymore. None of the other tests fail now, so this is a good solution, I think, to the problem. I'm gonna add a little message here. I like tests to have this, just so you know that it ran and that everything is good. All good. That makes me happy. Makes me very happy. Okay, so now it should work. We go back to here. I think your Danico is trying to fix it himself as well at the same time. That's yeah. I wonder if yours is more efficient though, because I'm adding to the string, but people can worry about that later on. So now if we do this, it should work. So sorry, where's my code? It should work again. And yeah, it works. Nice. So let me commit this code. What do we have here? Yep, git diff. Yeah, we're adding a nice Nice test case. We're fixing a bug here, and we're adding this all good message. So yeah, I can commit this. Commit A. Fixes issues with URI concatenation when URI has no path. Yep, and git push, and just like that, it's in the hands of hundreds of people that use Nim. Okay, so we can close this, we can get out of this, we can get back to this. So, we finally have our... often on these live streams I complain about things in Nim, and because Andreas is watching, I'm going to complain about this. This is just completely this is just noise. Can we please, I don't know, just get Repr to detect duplication and just add a couple of ellipses or something? Because, I mean, to be fair, I understand this is a table, and again, a table should be represented as it is in Nim using Repr, I think, but let's not get into this. Okay, so what are we getting from our Chrome driver? We are getting version of HTTP it uses, which is 1.1, which is brilliant. Status code, 200 OK, beautiful. And the headers. Content length, 126. Content type, application JSON. Connection close, that's just some implementation detail. And yeah, some of this other crap. And then here's the body. So let's just grab the body on its own. But first, I'm curious what's going to happen if I don't tell it that I want JSON. Let's see. Still gives JSON, so I'm just gonna, I don't know, I guess it would be good to check the spec to see, like, does it always give you... Let's go to the table of contents. Is there anything about... anything about the content type? I don't... Cookies... Let's just search for JSON, maybe. JSON... I think it's just JSON all the time. I don't think you need to tell it. Yeah, I think it always uses JSON. I'm just guessing this. I could be completely wrong, but I like to keep my code short, so let's not have that in here. So instead of doing Repr, let's just grab some of the fields we're interested in. We want the body, which is actually all the way down here. This should be way higher, because these functions here aren't really useful for most things. So anyway, body, and we should get our, yep, we have our beautiful JSON here, and this is pretty cool. It gives us, what does it give us? It gives us the status, it gives us some I don't even know what this means. What the hell is this? Value is this whole thing? It's got like the build, and version is alpha apparently. The operating system, obviously Mac OS X, and my Macintosh version. So So yeah, this seems fine. Let's look at what the protocol says about the status. So the status, that's what we want. Wow, this takes a long time to load. Okay. It returns information about the remote end. And what does it actually return? Let body be a new JSON object with the following properties: ready and message. What? But it doesn't return that. It returns status 0. Don't tell me that this doesn't abide by this protocol. Oh yeah, carpet sausage, that's very true. Thanks for that. I can remove the result equals. And we are not interested in the URL anymore either. Yeah, I'm really confused why this is saying one thing and the readiness state is represented by the ready property of the body, which is false if an attempt to create a session at the current time would fail. But there is no ready field here. Fucking Google with its non-standard. I'm really confused. Okay, does the Chrome WebDriver protocol support? Maybe that's what we should look into. You can view the current implementation. So it implements WebDriver's wire protocol for Chromium. Really? So it implements a different protocol? Like, are you kidding me? Why are you such a little shit, Chrome? I mean, to be fair, okay? To be fair. Come on, get to the top. I'm just gonna use my mouse. This is a fairly recent protocol specification. loving the little. What even is that? Oh, LUL, lol, solitude SF. That's what I like to see. Some Twitch community. I don't know what you call them. Are they stickers? Are they emojis? Are they like? Oh, they're emotes. Hi, I've got lots of H3 emotes. That's cool. Anyway, let's not get sidetracked. Let's not turn the chat into a spam of of these, please. I don't want to have to make a live stream of me writing a bot to control the chat. Anyway, so presumably it implements this one. It doesn't implement the actual one. So where is status here? Responses. Yeah, so it like... can I search? Yes, I can. Get status. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it returns. Alright. Great. Is it at least similar? Like, okay, it is at least a bit similar. So maybe I can get away with implementing both? I don't know. Maybe I should just implement this one, though it's a bit of a shame since it's obsolete now. What about What about Firefox? What about Firefox's beautiful Firefox driver? Gecko drivers, the next generation, is supported by Marionette. They implement the W3C WebDriver standard. Yep. They are in a pre-release state. Well, that's freaking great, isn't it? Come on, guys. Oh, really? This is partially complete? Like, I mean, if it's at least partially complete, it should be fine, as long as I can get it running. How do I get this thing running? Gecko driver releases. Do you have a nice Mac OS X binary for me, maybe? Ah, you do. Oh yes. I do love Firefox more than Chrome, by the way. So, seeing as they also have better support for the new standard. Oh great! Now you to copy this one. What was I saying? Yeah, now that they have better support for the WebDriver spec, I think it's much better for me to use them. So there we go. Let's kill our Chrome driver and let's run our Gecko driver. Oh, look at that. I bet it's written in Rust as well. You guys know Rust. Rust sucks, okay? Nimble's better. Anyway, so this is actually running on port 4444. God damn it. Alright, let's change it. We prefer Firefox. Let's try it. Let's see what happens with this one. Yes! See, this is up to the spec. Apparently. I don't know why it always puts it in a value thing, but TwitchBot in next live stream it is then, is what Konkuro is saying. Oh my god, that's a baby emote. That's amazing. Yeah, it should be actually quite fun to make a Twitch chatbot. In the last stream, I was working on Nimble, which is an IRC bot. So, God, how long have we been streaming now? How long has this been going on? Holy shit, 1 hour and 20 minutes now. Sorry, I'm just checking my phone. Anyway, so yeah, awesome. Gecko driver works. That's beautiful. So, yeah, so now we have to parse this. And in order to do that, we need the JSON module. The JSON module, so let's just add some comments here. Check the readiness of the WebDriver. And by doing this, I think we can also check the that it implements the correct standards. So if we, right, so let's parse it, right? So the JSON object, parse JSON response.body. Actually, what we should do is we should do get content instead of get. Get content will raise an exception if anything other than 200 OK is returned. Carpet Sausage is asking me what kind of mic do I have. Is this because it's so bad, or is it the other way around? I'm actually curious. But I'm just using my internal MacBook Pro mic, and I hope it's not too bad to listen to. Oh, okay. But I bet you can hear like me typing much more than me talking, or But yeah, I hope it's not too bad. Anyway, so this gives us a JSON object. And yeah, so the JSON object has value and then message for some reason, and then ready. So let's just check this object. Okay, let's define a nice new exception called protocol exception. And it's going to be an object of, I don't even know. Do we have anything that like object of exception? Let's just do that. And if object that has key value, I feel like this is standard for all the messages though. Probably, isn't it? Actually, what we should be doing is this. So the curly braces will return nil, which is null in nim, if this field doesn't exist. So we can kind of chain it. This is in contrast to the square brackets, which will just crash your application if the key doesn't exist, with an exception. Yeah, why, Concora, why are you telling me to use body stream? I did explain why I'm using get content. The reason is that it gets the body automatically and it raises an exception if it doesn't get the correct HTTP code response. Man, I wish I had like some fresh warm tea. Maybe I should take a break. That's how people usually do if they get a sore throat, right? Body is like an accessor for body stream. So it'll just read it all for you, I think, if I recall correctly. Anyway, let's continue with this. So we get the value and then we get the ready field. So we're going value, ready. And this is actually a Boolean, so we need to tell nim what type we're expecting. So we expect a bool. I think that's the function name. We'll see soon enough. Nope, it's not. Okay, let's see if autocomplete can help us. Get. Oh, it does. Wow. Yeah, maybe we should rename this because bval is such a obscure name. Anyway, get bval will give us a Boolean value if one exists. If not, it will return like false by default. See there? Oh my god, can I not? Can I not do that? Okay, no? Okay, whatever. I can't point to it, but hopefully you can see above there, default equals false. So, if not ready, so maybe let's just create one exception and call it WebDriver exception. And let's just keep things simple and raise it. So this does mean that if the protocol is different, actually, you know what? Let's give the user this information because it would be useful, I think. WebDriver exception. So if object that has key, or actually let's do it like this. But this is going to fail, isn't it? Can I do get fields? Don't want to do that. This is going to fail because this is going to return nil, isn't it? Which sucks. But we can do this. If this is nil, then we raise a new exception called yeah, I think that was actually me who wrote get bval, unfortunately. I will take responsibility for that, and I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah. So let me just read the, actually let me just finish writing this first. Protocol exception. Readiness message does not follow spec. Let's just do that. And it goes over 80 characters, which personally I dislike, so I'm just going to move it in here. This is something, by the way, which we're going to improve, this whole new exception thing. In the future, I think you'll be able to just write protocol exception message, right, instead of this whole thing. Why is this complaining? Oh, because it's not complaining, it's just, it's getting some patterns applied to it. Oh yeah, so I was going to read Twitch chat. Let me see. So Carpet Sausage is asking if parse JSON can throw an error. That's a very good question. The nice thing about Nim, I'll show you right now, is that you can check, because the compiler infers the exceptions that each function throws. God, I think I need a break as well. So I can search for parse JSON here, right? And if I open this, it tells us that it raises the following exceptions. The generic exception, this is a bug, obviously, a value error or a JSON parsing error. And same for this one, pretty much. So yeah, it does. It raises, but I mean, we could wrap it in a protocol exception, I suppose. Like we could catch this exception and wrap it in a protocol exception, but for now, let's just not worry about that. Let's keep going. So WebDriver is not ready. Right? So guys, I'm gonna take a break because I need some more tea. And I did create a nice screen for breaks as well. So I'll be back in 5 minutes tops. So don't go anywhere. Stay here. Bad things will happen if you go somewhere. I can guarantee it. Anyway, be back soon. Okay, I am back. And we dropped from 15 viewers to 9. My goodness. Do people have no patience? Disappointing. Okay, so let's finish this. I'm getting hungry. So, where were we? Okay, we've done some exception handling. We check our readiness level. Let's run it to make sure that it works. Yep, all good. And let's finally create our session. So, sorry guys, I'm eating a chocolate. So, the new session command creates a new WebDriver session with the endpoint node. The creation fails, session not created error is returned. Example, I love examples. Very useful. Intermediary node, right. Right. So this actually lets you specify which browser you want and stuff like that, but I'm connecting to one already. Like I don't care about this stuff. So the remote end steps are not the remote end. We are the client end, aren't we? So what? How do we? They don't really give a shit about the client end, do they? I guess you just do that. I guess you just post. I guess you just don't need to give it any parameters. Presumably. Let's try it and see what happens. So let session response equals self.client.post content, because it's a post this time, self.url slash session. Boom. And let's see what happens. Okay. So Gecko decided to close itself on us. Decided to just pull the plug. Pull the old plug. Which is a shame. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong here? It'll be a while before my tea cools enough for me to drink it. Okay. The maximum active session is equal to the length of the active session with an error. So remote ends intermediary node taking place. To that returned by if an error is not returned, the intermediary node must retain a reference to the session created by upstream. I feel like I probably need to give it some sort of some sort of data, don't I? Because yeah, because it's a post. I mean, is this what I'm supposed to? So confused with an endpoint node. Why? It's recommended. This information, capabilities. WebDriver capabilities are used to communicate the features supported by a given implementation. The local end may use capabilities to find. Alright, let's see what this code does. Checks the status. This uses the old protocol, doesn't it? Nice. So it does actually pass the desired capabilities, which is interesting. What is this? So can I like okay, I feel like this is the JSON you need to pass, but the spec doesn't make it at all obvious. Not one bit obvious. Is there like a is there like a thing for the protocol? I should probably read this first, shouldn't I? Commands. Recognize the command issue from everything told me to define specific at the same point. The each command produces a single HTTP response. In response to command, proceeds of action is the browser. Each command defines a specific list of remote end steps. This provides the sequence of actions to remote end takes when it receives a particular command. Well, that's a bit. Sessions, navigation, command context, elements, element retrieval, element state, element interaction, document handling, actions, user prompts. Sorry guys, this is really boring. I think I'm just gonna try this and hope that it Is there like a... Somebody's highlighting me on IRC. Oh, thank you, DD, for telling me this. Yeah, you're likely correct. But then, is there a document that I can WebDriver protocol for clients? No. WebDriver spec. It's just the same thing, except it's on a different website. This is mine. But I think I can take a pretty a good guess and just assume that if I write, well, maybe if I do capabilities and then let's just try that. So much guesswork. I really dislike that. I wish the spec was more clear. Anyway, let's call it. Actually, we need to do this above here. Request session request. And let's use our trusty JSON creation operator. So, capabilities. Then we will have, what do we want? We want like browser name, Firefox. That's really, we don't really want, actually, we don't really want anything. We just want, would that work? Can I just not give it anything? So the second, this is body. So I can turn this into a string. And yeah. Also, yeah, it is pretty hilarious that that Nimble is the only one using get bval. Here, Danico just said that in Twitch chat. Oh, it's still just closing the connection. Why? Why are you doing this? Alright, let's try browser name. Maybe that will get it to work. No. It's just closing the connection. But why? Why would it do that? Shall we try it with curl? I think we should try it with curl. Curl v localhost 444/session. But we need to post it. How do I post things with curl? Again, let's see. Curl post. I never remember. X post. There we go. Failed to, so it actually gives an error here. I feel like this is a bug in httpclient because I don't know. It's just failing. Shall I investigate it? Might be a good idea, right? Since we fixed one standard library bug, we may as well look into another one. Post content. I want the second one. So this code is a bit more complicated than the URI one, obviously. It does request auxiliary, and then it fails in line 1022. Let's just go for that line, because it didn't fully read the thing. Oh man. Man, oh man. Let's just print what it reads. Honestly, I'm too tired to even figure this out, to be honest. Is this? Wait a minute. Could this be because I'm I'm reusing the same. I think so. Wait, what? Then is connection close? No, it can't be. That would be a pretty easy bug to fix in HTTP client, actually. So what I'm thinking is happening that because HTTP client now holds on to multiple connection, like if you say connect to Google and you make a request, it keeps the connection alive until you do another request. But since our first request gets connection close, I think that HTTP client doesn't realize that and still tries to reuse the socket even though it's been closed, which is obviously bad. So where is the logic for that? That's gonna be interesting to find. UAC parse body. Right, new connection. If client is not client.connected, client.close, okay. It's true, I should be able to do that. Okay. New connection. This is when new connection is used. See, this is what I meant, by the way. If I'm fixing bugs, then I can't really talk too much. I guess I could say what I'm going through in my code, right? But too tiring. Honestly, talking this much is already making me really tired. I drink some of my tea. Nothing beats a nice Twinings Earl Grey. Hello, Indigo Lord. Maybe somebody in the chat can explain what Nim is to you. It's a relatively new programming language that compiles to C, has a Python-like syntax, and yeah, check out the website, nim-lang.org. So, what do we have here? So yeah, currently I'm actually investigating being a bit sidetracked, I'm investigating a standard library bug. So, standard client's proxy in case those were written. So the only time we're using new connection, is, this is interesting. Okay, it just runs it again. This is a tricky one. Very tricky one. Because, okay, so let's just run through this, right? So first it goes through here, requests the status, and once it requests the status, the socket's closed, it doesn't realize it. So it always calls new connection. Okay. So if client occurs, no. Why are we not checking? Or client.connected or not client.connected. At this point, we're going to have to... Actually, no, sorry, because this is gonna be wrong. Or no, it's not. It's not gonna be wrong. But then why is this code here? Now, if you're new to Nim, please don't let this code scare you. This is standard library code. It's a bit more complex than usual code, so don't worry. We'll get back to the project at hand as soon as I fix this bug. Which, by the way, we do need a lot more tests for HTTP client. If anyone wants to write those. I know writing tests isn't fun, but we could use some, so. Or not client.connected. Because otherwise it just doesn't do anything, right? So yeah, no, this makes sense, I think. And then where is connected actually set? We've been disconnected here. It should probably be set here, shouldn't it? Because we never set it. We never set it to false anywhere. No, we set it to false here. Yeah. Yeah, this is a tough one to fix because it's easy for me to fuck it up even more. Sorry for the language, but I mean it is, unfortunately. Yeah, so really I think we should be closing the socket when this happens. I'm just gonna take a guess here and hope that this is correct. Right, because that's what we'll set connected to false, and it'll deal with this stuff for us. And we also need to do it here. Boom. Stupid. Move that here. Okay. I think this should work. Let's see. Come on, baby. Shit, still doesn't work. This is a tough one. This is a tough cookie here. One way we could test my theory is by simply commenting this code out. Oh my god. Yeah, that works. It actually launched. That's awesome. It actually launched a a Firefox with like a little robot thing. That's really awesome. Love this. So let's. Can I close it? Oh, okay. So that works. So what? So this is now doing things. Okay. So that does prove my theory correct. It's failing because of HTTP client's handling of persistent connections. Sadly, I might not be able to fix it. But why is it not parsing the body? Is there maybe more cases where it gets disconnected? I think there is. Yeah, we've been disconnected. So every time we've been disconnected, we will close the socket and hope for the best. But this doesn't cause any weird shit. Could this be it? Could this be what we've been searching for? Oh, that's interesting. I think I must have screwed it up. Must have screwed up my Gecko driver. Let's relaunch it. See what happens now. No, it still fails. Huh. Is this boring for you guys, by the way? Because I can just stop, create a workaround for this. Just let me know. Otherwise, I'll continue trying to fix this, because it would be nice to fix this. Alright, let's just add some debugging in here. Echo new connection, so we're in here. And then echo we are actually creating, right, whatever. I'm not gonna write a novel. Okay, so so yeah, so that is the issue still. For some reason, it thinks that it's connected when it in fact is not. Yep, it still thinks it's connected. Why is that? Are we closing the connection? Are we doing that? Can I check? Closing. Okay. Huh. That's weird, because we should close it. In particular, we should close it here. What the fuck? Why is this like this? This is another case where we are being disconnected, but I don't think this is possibly. But it is something somewhere where we should close. I really hate this repetition, but I think it's necessary. Right, let's just screw this, right? Receiving. Is this actually being used here to receive things? Apparently not. That's really strange. Where's the body? Let's echo the headers. course, there's no... Oh man, that's annoying. Can I convert it to a table? Apparently, I can. Will this give me... Will this let me print it? Yeah, it does, okay. Oh, okay. Wait, what? Oh my god, this is so strange, okay. So this is indeed an edge case in httpclient. We are getting a content length, but also we are getting connection close. So yeah. So that's a bit of a that's an interesting one actually. That's a very interesting one. Okay, so if oh dear. Basically, yeah. Basically, if connection close, then we just close it anyway, no matter what. So if the server will close our connection, then no matter the method of reading the body, we need to close our socket. And this will work. I can bet you. And there we go. It works. You can congratulate me by sending pizza my way. That would actually be really awesome if you guys could just buy me some Domino's pizza online. So yeah, two bugs fixed over this live stream. Awesome, right? So I think I'll just commit this. I don't think this will cause any issues. So let's commit it. Project's name. Diff. We need to remove our little echoes, right? Where are our echoes? There's one. There's another. Here's yet another one. Now, I feel like I should really check. Should I? Nah, it should be fine. If not, we'll have another bug on our hands, but that's fine. Yeah, this looks good. Git commit A. Did you really send me a pizza, Andreas? Nah, you don't know my address. But yeah, so fixes edge case were content length and connection close with, okay, let's just with fixes edge case with, gotta make sure these commit messages are on point, you know. Fixes edge case with content length and connection close headers. With both, with both content length and connection close header. This is too long. Well, it didn't like that, did it? Fixes yeah, that's better. No! I don't know how to use Vim at all. I'm just trying to get to the end of the line. Oh my god. Need to learn some Vim. Fixes requests with both content length and connection close headers. And then in here we'll write also closes the socket when connection is closed to ensure that that a new connection is made on any further requests. Finally, sorry that took so long to write. Yeah, I really don't feel like writing a test case for this. I honestly don't even know how to write a test case for this. Well, I sort of do, but it would just take so much like setup. Like I would have to set up a HTTP server, and then yeah, it's just it's just too much of a pain, really. Shift+4 for line end. Well, I need to print out a Vim cheat sheet and just put it above my my desk. I used to have one, but now I'm living in university accommodation, so yeah. Andreas is saying, just write the commit message as long as you want. It's not the 70s anymore, as much as Linus wants that to be the case. Carpet Sausage says I could just mock the server. Yeah, if there was a library for mocking in Nim, I could do that. Sadly, I don't think there is one, so I would have to write one, which would take me a long time. So, if you want to write one, please do. Okay. So this is cool. No, I can't switch tabs by just whatever. Awesome. So we can. I think this is just from httpclient anyway. So we can now run create a new window in Firefox. Like, this is so cool. This is so awesome. And so what information are we getting here? We're getting the session ID, getting its capabilities, which is interesting. It accepts insecure certificates. No, it's Firefox. It's 56 browser version. It's got some Mozilla things. Profile, rotatable, specification level, timeouts. That's cool. All we really want is the session ID, I think. So let's pull that out. Alright, I need to use my mouse to switch between these windows. I wish there was a way to do it with a keyboard. If anyone knows if there is a way to like Alt-Tab between individual windows, please let me know. That would be useful. Actually, I wonder if the down arrow does that. Oh, this is what it does. Oh god. But then how do I switch? How do I switch between them? Like, there's no way. Oh well. What are you guys saying? Nim is not that easy to mock. Probably. I saw a short interview of Linus. I am autistic. I don't know, probably. Is that what he said? I mean, you know, autism is a spectrum. Everyone, to some extent, is on the spectrum. So, and I would say that programmers are probably just based on the stuff we do, we are probably more towards the autistic side of the spectrum than the other side. Hope I didn't offend anyone, but I'm pretty sure that's like true. Anyway, let's not get bogged down in these sorts of discussions. So, what do we want to do? We want to grab, so I think every single response has a value, which is just, why? Why? Why did they do this? This is so silly. Anyway, right, we're getting our value. So session object, parse JSON again, session response, and we want the value. So if session object value and session ID dot is nil, then something that popped into my mind actually, is nil is kind of interesting, right? It's sort of similar to how in Python you have to write is none, right? You shouldn't be writing, I mean, you can write equals nil, but for the same reasons as in Python, you shouldn't be writing that. You should be using is nil. Just what I mentioned that, in case you guys were wondering. Sorry, I'm reading the Twitch chat again. Andreas says he could write a blog about mocking. Yardanico says we should really be writing more articles about NIM. I totally agree. Like I keep saying, the nim-lang.org website has a blog section, and you're more than welcome to guest post things there. Just create a pull request on github/nim-lang/website, and I can review it and then deploy it easily. For those of you who have just joined us, I see there's 14 people now. I am creating a package in the programming language called Nim. A package to implement the WebDriver spec to get some nice, I guess, browser testing in the long run, but really just to get some website to load in Firefox or Chrome, for example, which I will use for one of my projects later on as well, but I won't get into that again now. Carpet Sausage is asking, but wouldn't is nil provide more overhead rather than equals equals? Presumably he means nil. Why should it provide more overhead? Keep in mind that equals equals is also a function in Nim, just like is nil. Because Nim offers operator overloading, every single operator is a function, essentially. So equals equals is also a function. I hope that sort of clears it up. So no, it's not. There is no more overhead with that. Andreas is saying I'm using JSON.nim wrong anyway. Why? Why are you saying that? Anyway, let's continue. If it's nil, then once again we will be no session ID in response to a message, to a request. Yeah, let's just go for that. Wonderful. And now we can finally return a session object, which only has an ID anyway. I thought it would be an int, but it appears that this is actually a GUID. So it's just going to be a string, really. Again, we should probably export it as well. I just wrote parse John. Whoops. So the ID is going to be session object value. We can use the curly or the square brackets now that we know that it exists. Since above we give an error if it doesn't. So, and then get str, which is yeah. So our session, we've got our session. We can probably echo it here. And let's see it working. Oh, I think this is going to fail. What? Oh, I see. It needs another parentheses. But yeah, I think WebDriver just doesn't like. Yeah, WebDriver is not ready. I just need to restart it again, which is a bit annoying. But we are testing after all. Indigo Lord is asking, does curly brace attribute access prevent key error type things? Yes, that's exactly what it does. No, I didn't want you to make it full screen. That's exactly what it does. If like alright, let me show you the code. If value doesn't exist in session object, then this will return nil. And then if another curly braces are applied nil, then it'll just return nil, and that's how you chain it. Oh, I see what Andreas is saying. That's a fair point. I can change it to this. Andreas just gave me this tip. It's actually really annoying that that these green things are showing. And I guess this is what they're talking about. So if I change it to this, they disappear. Yay! Thank you, Andreas, for this tip. Awesome. No more green squigglies under that. And yeah, so our result is the ID. So now we can actually do something with this session, right? We can finally get something done. Question is, what can we? Right, let me just kill it. What can we do? What should we do? So we can get its timeouts, we can set its timeouts, we can navigate too. That's probably what we want to do. So let's do it. So we'll create a nice navigate procedure. This will take a session, but it actually, Interesting. How should I do this? Should I pass both the WebDriver and the session to the navigate procedure? Or should I save the WebDriver in the session? I think I'll go for that. Because it's just going to be easier for people to use it this way. And it's easy enough for me to do that. Just give it like a nice little pointer. Self. And yeah, session. And we can do this. Awesome. So now we can do self.driver.client.get content or post content. And once again, copying this code, we can post to, oh, okay. So we have to do session ID. So So this is already wrong here because it's driver.url. Self.driver. Oh, this is getting wrong. So let's take it out. Let URL equal this. And Trace is saying that I don't need the is nil. Yeah, but then that's a bit of a weird. Apparently, once again, Amazon has stock. Does it? No, it doesn't. For those of you that joined us late, by the way, this is the whole point of this, is to use the WebDriver to check for the stock of the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. So now I'm gonna have to add this shit to this code to make it stop complaining. Sorry, bear with me. That's not what we want. No! I didn't mean for it to quit. Indigo Lord, Indigo Lord is saying that they were following along fine, and then one function dropped a lot of syntax, which confused them. Which function do you mean? You mean the attribute access stuff, or what? Ugh. Stock notifier. Sorry, let me just edit this so that it stops complaining. This should hopefully be fine. I don't know why, but suddenly my CPUs are just spiking hard. Strange. Anyway. Yeah, so Indigo Lord is wondering what a proc is, and the asterisk after the func name, the $sign. Yeah, basically, yeah, proc is just a function, procedure, they're synonymous. Asterisks means you're exporting the function, the $sign is the toString operator, and the slash is like concatenation but for URLs, and it adds the slash automatically, so it's all good. Oh my god, this is going to confuse me now as well because Visual Studio Code decided to change its icon suddenly. That's weird. Anyway, let's continue. So where were we? Forget about that. Session ID. So driver, actually not driver, just ID slash glad you like the asterisk, Indigo Lord. URL. Cool, so they give you an example here, which is nice. Beautiful. So we're going to need to also create an object. Call it URL. And also we're going to need a URL parameter. The URL we want to go to. So yeah, that should be it. So URL and then object. And then we can do this. Yep, awesome. And then this is going to be another JSON response. So parse JSON response. Let's echo it. And let's see what happens. Session.navigate. And let's go to google.com. Okay. Let's see what happens. Just to show you guys. Oh, I think it's working. Ugh, go to the right. Is it working? Sort of working. That's weird. Before onload, register synergies. Interesting. Doesn't seem to be loading, and also it's not. The request is not finishing either. So it's a bit of a shame, really. Once again, my stock checker is taking the piss. Sorry about this, guys. Let me just fix this again. I should really just do this properly now, instead of this hack, and just grab this, like using a regular expression or something, and check if it's lower or greater than something, but I can't even be bothered. So let's just do this. Since this isn't actually the purpose of this live stream. Let's restart it. Oh wait, I need to also do and press free, not in content. Okay, forget about this. So where were we? This is presumably still waiting. Yeah, it's still waiting. Why? Why is this not? What if I type it in myself? Then it works. Well, that's a that's a damn shame, isn't it? That it doesn't work. Is it going to the correct URL? This is probably going to complain that it's not ready. Yep. Let's kill it. Let's run it again. And let's try it again. Yeah, this looks fine to me. Looks correct. It's waiting for localhost. Like it's trying something. It's trying to do something. What can I see it in? What it's trying to do? No? Okay. Well, that sucks. Right, back to the spec. I don't know why I reloaded that. That was pointless. So, the current upload wasn't next to the location. The session is not in secure TLS state. With the body URL. Any ideas, guys? What I'm doing wrong? Do I need to do something else first? Doesn't look like it. Like, this should work. Which is really strange. Maybe I should inspect this a bit closer. It really doesn't look like I can. Really, really weird. Right? Really weird. I guess we could try a different URL. Let's try something that I know is not going to go over SSL, the independent newspaper. Alright. Let's try that. Huh. It's still like stuck. Receive DOM event before onload. Register. Permission denied. Something permission denied. Verify an extension state. Right, let's do this again. Does it have any verbose? It does, it seems. Let's try debug. Actually, it's got some nice ones here. Let's do that. Let's see what it tells us this time. Come on. Okay, oh nice, this is really useful. So see here, it receives this with what? Okay, this is pretty bad. This is a pretty bad mistake, guys. I don't even. You could argue that this is Nim's fault, that it should have complained that I am shadowing a parameter here, but I believe Andreas calls this a feature, which it sort of is, because if you have a parameter and you want to just modify it, you can easily just create a variable with the same name and modify it. But this kind of screwed me here. But let's fix it. So let's just call it request URL, like this. And this should now work perfectly well. No wonder it wasn't working. My goodness, this is hilarious though. This is going to go to the independent website now. Yep. Apparently this isn't the independent website. I thought it was. I guess it's .co.uk. Well, independent. Oh, whoops. But yeah, it works. It works, and it gives nothing in return. It's interesting. Yeah, Andreas is saying that shadowing parameters is an idiom. Well, yes, but you can't say that I didn't get screwed by this time. So yeah, it works. Well, I'm way too warm. I'm gonna open the window a bit more. Andreas says he noticed it when I typed it, and then he forgot about it again. Well, thank you for the help. This is why you guys are here, by the way. You're here to spot errors I make. Obviously, this is like meant to be an educational thing for you guys. So yeah, so basically it just returns this, it seems. What if it's like an error though? I'm guessing it returns something strange. So I think what I'll do is I will simply check if response object value. Okay, let's just do this. Value what do we want? Fields, get fields, get fields. And this gives us an ordered table, and we can check the length, and we want it to be 0. So if it's not 0, then we want to raise an exception. Let's just do WebDriver exception. And let's just do that. Apparently there is no length for the tables. That's because we have to import it. Let me just show you this error a bit more clearly. And let me just kill the WebDriver because it's killing my CPU right now. Anyway, this error happens because in order to use the length function, we need to import the module that defines it. So this is something that's sort of surprising for newcomers to Nim, I guess. But basically we just import tables and it works. And now it's complaining that, oh, okay, this is just, it's saying that it matched this pattern and it optimized it for us, which is always nice, but I wish it wouldn't give these squiggles to it. Cool. So yeah, so that's working. What we need now is to implement some more things. So I would say, let's see. What I really want is getting the page source. So this is a get, and it seems pretty simple enough now to implement this. So let's call it get. So I see ZooGen TV is asking what language or framework is this. This is the Nim programming language. You can find out more at nim-lang.org. I won't get into it right now. Oh, he left? How do you check who's in the chat? Like what people? I guess viewer list. Ooh, nice. Oh, he's still in here. Oh, interesting. The people who are watching. Very interesting. I see that Cheat Fate is watching. Nice to see you here. Nice to see you're still sort of in the community. Who else do I recognize? Stisa, another person from the Nimble community. No, he is here. Zugan TV is here. Yordanica was saying he's not. I mean, he's in the viewers list, at least, from what I can tell. So, I mean, I don't know. This is turning out to be a very long stream. Wow, we're going at 3 hours. It's like a marathon over here. Anyway, this is what we're going to be doing. Going to be getting the page source. This is pretty much all I wanted to implement, actually. Getting the source. Should I just call it what it's called in here? Get page source? Yeah, get page source. This is actually like a really cool package. And it's a bonus that I'm able to live stream its development. So yeah, so really all we're doing here is we're going to be getting a string from it. So obviously that's a long string. And let's load our beautiful Amazon Super Nintendo Entertainment System page instead of the independent. As much as I love them. Not really. I'm Guardian all the way. Concoro says that getFields.land is not 0 is wrong. Why do you think that? So maybe let me explain my reasoning. The reason I did that is because this is what it gives us. So I'm grabbing value, and then it's got an empty object, and then obviously this empty object is going to have 0 fields. So if it doesn't have 0, then we raise an exception. Yeah, the whole point of Nim is that it's not it's meant to shield you from the crap that is C. So anyway, let's do this. Again, request URL. Pretty simple. Session, self ID, and I think source. Yeah. And this protocol is actually pretty good. Let response self driver.client.post. No, sorry. Get content. Request URL and no, never mind. I'm copying the code too much. Okay, and then once again, resp object equals parse JSON response echo resp object. Phew, I think this will work. Echo session.get page source. And the cool thing is that it blocks, like, it doesn't respond until the page loads. So that's really cool. Yeah, people are discussing what blog hosting platforms to use. Honestly, using WordPress as a developer is a bit shitty, in my opinion. But, I mean, whatever works for you, it's fine. Okay, let's try it. Run this again. Is it running? It's running. Boom. Awesome. It works. It's loaded. It's still loading fully. So see what I mean? It doesn't actually finish the request until there it is. There's the code. And it's just frozen my terminal. Shouldn't have printed it. Okay. But yeah. That works. That's pretty much all I wanted to implement for this. Let me just kill the WebDriver again, because it's like, if it lets me. Pretty please, can you please let me? Thank you, that's not what I wanted at all. Oh, because it also printed the... Okay, let's get rid of the verbose from now on. Oh my god. The one thing I really hate about the Mac OS X terminal is that once it gets enough backlog, it starts to really slow down. In fact, yeah, it's unusable right now because of this. Okay, so let's just get rid of this. Oh my god, come on. Come on, dude, come on. Please, come on. Thank you. I don't know why it became larger, but thank you for that. And also let's create a new tab for this. Oh my god. It's freezing all over the place. Okay, that should make it a bit more stable now. Oh. Anyway, so that works. This is, yeah, but I don't know. Shit, I don't know what it actually returns now. Because it returns so much. Okay, let's grab Google and, or better yet, let's just grab my website. That will be nice and short. I won't freeze my terminal. Excuse me. Okay, and there we go. That was nice and easy. It's got all my nice source code here. And what do we get? Again, we get value. So that's cool. So we can return, so if response object value that is nil, then raise new exception again. I don't know what the errors will actually look like, so I'm just going to show them, and then we can later on figure that out. Otherwise, we just want value dot get str, and that's it. That is it. That is it implemented. WebDriver from scratch. And what I will do now, just to finish off, I think I won't be able to integrate this into my project today, but I think I will do that tomorrow. And maybe further implement more features for this package. But I'll show you guys how to actually get this into the package repository. So first thing you want to do is create a Git repository for your package. So I just did that. And obviously you want to commit your stuff. So we add this. We add our source, which is just this. And yeah, and then we commit. initial commit. And then obviously we need to create a new repository, so I'll do that in a new tab. Just to hide my precious prior projects. Andreas is saying that whenever you copy and paste more than 40 characters when programming, you're doing it wrong. Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to keep things simple for now, and also I'm tired. It's been 3 hours now. My throat is sore, so I don't really feel like refactoring things. I think I'll do that tomorrow. I'm definitely up for doing it tomorrow. And yeah, so we'll call this WebDriver repo. I'm gonna make it public. And of course, boom. Oh no, that's not what I wanted at all. SSH, you stupid little shit. Let's just do this then. Okay. And it's online. I'll paste the link now to the chat for you guys. It's up there. I can show you guys it as well. So basically all Nimble packages live in a GitHub repo. And now that this is in the GitHub repository, you can create a pull request on nim-lang/packages. And you'll see there's a packages.json file. So I'm just going to edit it directly because that's just how I roll. There is also a publish command in Nimble. You can write Nimble publish, but I have a feeling that it's broken right now. That's another bug we have to fix. So I'm not going to use it, and also because I don't really need to use it since I have direct access to the repo. But you can just create a pull request yourself. This is a public repo, so if I just scroll down to the bottom, and then you basically just copy one of these. Obviously, it has to be good JSON, and yeah, you just add your project. So Stone 96 WebDriver. The download method is Git. We also support Mercurial in case that's what you want. So WebDriver. I don't know, Selenium. It's a library. What other things? Firefox. Yeah, that'll do. And we can copy the description we used in our Nimble file. There we go. And then for the web link, I mean, you can just use the GitHub link again. And there we go. Add WebDriver package. So yeah, you'd probably use this, right? But since I can commit directly, I can just do that. You can do it exactly the same way. You can also use the cm edit this file thing. GitHub supports it, so it's as easy as excuse me. Yeah, Andreas is saying that the API could use more thinking. I'm getting hiccups. That's very true. Again, maybe tomorrow. Stop criticizing my API, please. Okay. And yeah, I mean, we should add documentation to our code as well, which I will probably do tomorrow. But yeah, now you guys can type in, so first of all, Nimble refresh to grab the latest package list, and then Nimble install WebDriver, and it works. And obviously it already exists, so yeah. And then you can use it in your own code, just like that. So that's, I think for today, that's it. I mean, I've been streaming for exactly 3 hours now. That's incredibly long. I'm probably running out of space on this recording. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me. Hopefully you enjoyed this quick, well, not quick, 3 hour long package creation and plus some standard library bug fixing. For those of you that are new, please check out the NIM website. It's nim-lang.org. Yeah, I'll probably be around tomorrow. I'll be bored, so I'll probably stream tomorrow. Possibly a bit earlier since it's a Saturday. Maybe I'll do 2 streams, one in the morning, one in the night. Probably not. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll do game stream as well. I haven't played games in a long time. But yeah, please check out the website, and also please check out my book. I wrote this bad boy, so you can click that, buy it. There's some more bonus resources here as well. I'll be posting this video here too. This guide is really useful. I mentioned it at the beginning. I'm going to mention it again. And yeah, tomorrow I'll be integrating the WebDriver into my stock checker, which desperately needs some love. I'll also be refactoring it because it turned really ugly. And yeah, thank you very much, guys. I'll be seeing you. Unless you guys have something else to discuss. Or any questions, any of the new people, please feel free to ask questions. Oh, and I should mention, if the new people, if you guys have questions, then scroll down on the NIM front page, down, community, join our IRC channel, join Gitter, join our forum, or you can talk to us on Twitter as well. So yeah, thank you for joining me. Hope to see you again. Bye bye.